Judy. It's so nice to have everyone on tonight. This is our third webinar in our webinar series, and tonight we'll be talking about marketing. And we are so happy to have our MD5M Marketing and PR Chair, Lyle Goff, to share with us. We all know how important marketing is for our clubs, for visibility, and to let our communities know what we're doing. So, Lyle, we look forward to you sharing the why it's important and all of your innovative ideas. So we'll let you take it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Council Chair. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and sorry about the delay for getting started. As you can see by the title page here, we are doing Marketing Matters, Tips and Tools, and How to Market Your Club. And the first slide that we have after that is, why do you want to market your club? Now, there's a lot of assumptions that usually go on in regards to, well, why do we even bother doing it? And as you can see on the slide here, we have a couple of them that we typically hear all the time from some other Lions or other individuals. Everyone knows or has heard about the Lions, or our club has been around for quite a while, so there's no need to waste the time and the money on marketing either our club or maybe a particular event. Or we've held this event in the community for years. We don't need to promote it because everybody shows up for it. Well, I hate to tell you, but those assumptions are wrong. Not everyone knows about your Lions Club, or not everyone knows about the Lions, who they are, what they do in the community, or what they do across the globe. You need to inform everyone about your club, the events and the project it does, and the impact it makes in your community. You don't want to end up becoming one of those clubs that ends up sort of slowly spiraling down because as your club ages, you end up losing club members, or maybe you end up dropping some community events here and there because you don't have enough people to staff it, or maybe you've just lost interest in doing it. You want to stay relevant in your community. You don't want to end up just basically floundering until the point where all of a sudden your community no longer has a Lions Club. What you should be marketing, when you're sitting down and figuring out, well, okay, maybe we should do some work on promoting our club and promoting our activities. But, what exactly is that? So number one, obviously, clubs out there doing service projects, they're doing community events, they're doing things like whether they're a social event or they're a service project in your community. You want to promote those because, number one, you want to attract attendees, and you also want to attract volunteers. Maybe you have a large community event that you want to do, and all of a sudden you realize that, gee, the handful of people that we have in our club and maybe some of our spouses and significant others aren't enough to be able to help on a project of this size. So maybe we might want to start looking for how we can find some additional help for something like this. You also need to inform the community about your events or projects, just for the idea that, once again, you want to stay relevant in your community. And on top of that, who knows, if you have a project that's going on, you might be able to attract some community partners. Maybe there's some local businesses. Maybe there's folks at City Hall, or who knows, maybe even there's another local service organization or volunteer organization that might want to come in and help you out on it. And maybe they might actually have some ideas or some additions that they would like to have on it that might actually work out pretty well. So events and projects, definitely you should be marketing. The other thing you should be marketing is your club itself. Obviously, the primary thing is you want to recruit new members. I was told when I joined Lions that one of the first things I need to do is I should be looking for my replacement, even though I may be a long-standing Lion or something like that. Down the road, you're not going to be there any longer, and heaven forbid, you didn't spend some time maybe going out and recruiting some folks to come and join and become a Lion and help serve your community as well. Becoming a club member also offers the members opportunities for personal growth. You can learn leadership skills. You learn how to interact with other people. These are talents that you can take with you not only through your time as being a Lion, but also in your personal life as well, whether it's professional or with a family or friends and such. Another reason you need to promote this club, you hate to think about it, but you can't let other organizations take the opportunity to potentially take people away from you being, from an opportunity to join your club. We all have other organizations in your community whether it's JC's, Knights of Columbus, Rotary, Women of Today, Scouts, you name it, they're out there. And they are also in the same position as we are. We are all looking for members to help us fulfill our obligations and duties that we do in our community. And as I had mentioned before earlier, you want to promote the club itself because you want to make sure that you stop your club from being irrelevant in your community and eventually folding. So hopefully we can all agree on those situations there. Anybody have any comments or questions out there? Oh, go ahead. Was there somebody there? No, hearing none, we'll move on to the next slide, and that would be who should be marketing your club. And obviously, your club marketing team should be marketing your club. I know that there are a lot of clubs out there that don't really have what you would call a marketing team. You may have somebody who, handles a couple of duties here and there. You might have some folks who are ending up wearing multiple hats for doing some club marketing. But your marketing team should consist of a public relations or marketing chair, and should be folks who do like maybe your club newsletter. Maybe if you have a website, or do you have any social media platforms that your club posts on? Now, I know that there are some cases where people handle a couple of things. You might have somebody who does all the website work, and they also handle stuff maybe on like, one of the social media platforms. You might have a club secretary who also handles the duties of doing your club newsletter. The main thing I want to stress about having a club marketing team is the fact that the key word there is team. A team is not one individual who's handling all of these responsibilities. You need to have multiple people involved with this. You need to have people who are assigned regular tasks, but have the flexibility to be able to help out in case, maybe the newsletter editor needs a little help in drafting some things or editing some copy. Somebody else can step in and do it. Duties and qualifications associated with your club marketing team. As I mentioned, you should be working, in tandem with the committees that are planning your club's events and projects. Marketing is going to be a very key component in making sure that those activities that your club have are a success. In addition, the club marketing team should be working in partnership with your club membership chair, because as we've been hearing, especially this last year, Lions Clubs International is really stressing that you should be marketing your clubs, and one of the main functions of marketing your club is to do so to recruit members. Obviously, for being on the club marketing team, you should have some skills and experience associated with the job, though it is not a prerequisite. Unfortunately, there's people that will have to learn on the fly. What's the story about teaching old dogs new tricks? And to be honest, when I first took on this responsibility myself, I have to admit that I'm not the most savvy person in a couple of aspects here, but I'm open to learn. And that's one thing that everybody on the club marketing team should be in agreement with, that they should be willing to learn some of these things. And subsequently, if you find out that maybe people, you don't have people who have the skill sets that you would really like to have on a club marketing team, well, this is an opportunity for you to recruit personnel with those skills or experiences. Whether it's looking for new members that might have some, expertise in posting on, on Facebook and Twitter and all the other social media platforms, or maybe somebody who's got some website skills.
You have this
or
black
maybe
like picture in the corner.
Or maybe that somebody has some publishing skills, with some of the publishing software for doing newsletters and other articles. Those would be the things that we would really like.
I think they can hear us.
If you can't,
Otherwise, it'd be a mess.
excuse me. Oh, I was going to say, if you don't have people that you're going to recruit to be as club members, there's always the opportunity that you might have to hire services that might be able to either perform these duties for you, or maybe they would be willing to step up and teach you how to do some of these things. We'll move on to the next slide. We're going to move into what areas of focus should a club marketing team cover? My first thought was newsletter or basically internal communications. One of the things we have to do a great job is making sure that our club members are informed on what's going on, especially when it's coming to upcoming projects or events. Regular updates to club members need to be done. And of course, this can be things as giving club meeting highlights in the newsletter. Maybe there's flyers or email blasts that go out to remind people about upcoming activities. And of course, subsequently, after you have these activities, maybe there's some club members that weren't able to participate, but that we'd like to know how things went, whether it's seeing some pictures, getting a report on how much money was used, or how many people that you served at a, maybe like at a pancake breakfast or something like that. You want to have those updates off to your regular news, like I said, in newsletters or email blasts, or maybe online on your website or Facebook page. This is another reason why you should probably be working very closely with your club secretary, who is taking the minutes for all of those meetings, your membership chair, in case they have a particular membership recruitment campaign going on, and of course, all of your club programs, projects, events, and activity chairs. A next area that I thought would be a good focus for your club marketing team to cover would be your online presence. Websites, social media platforms. People need to have a website, or at least they should be recommended to have a website for their Lions Club. One of the things that you can do with your website is, or at least you should make sure that you have on your website, is general information about your club. You should have some, if you have an upcoming project or activity coming on, you should have information about that. You should have a calendar on that website that lists things like when your regular meetings are. Maybe you have business meetings and you have social meetings in the month. You can highlight both of those, along with any other events or projects that you have going on. On top of that, you should also have some contact information, because if people like what they see on your website or like what they're reading, you should be able to have them to contact you through that website. One important thing that you should do with your website is, besides having all that information, is you should make your website attractive. Have photos, make it engaging that way. Nobody wants to go to a website and read nothing but copy on there. It gets very boring, and if you don't attract those viewers, attract their attention within just a few minutes, or even a few seconds, actually, you probably have lost them and they've moved on to another place on the internet. So please dress it up, make it look attractive, and make it look appealing to not just Lions, but the general public as well. Now, speaking of online, about social media platforms. I know a lot of clubs out there have Facebook. You also have folks who are posting on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and all these other platforms that you see listed on the screen. One of the things that I've been finding and hearing from other people is that a lot of these social media platforms are where, in a lot of cases, a lot of younger folks, a lot of younger people that are on either social media or on the internet are actually migrating to. If you want to attract new members, and if you want to attract especially younger members to your club, you have to go where they are. You can't just sit back and expect that they're going to come and find you. I've heard comments about Facebook that Facebook is basically being kind of shied away from with younger people out there nowadays. It's kind of passe, and it's basically been turned over to older people, but you still need to have a presence. whether it's on Facebook or any of these other platforms out there. And to be honest, most of these social media platforms, it's relatively easy to set up something so you can start posting your club information or some of your club photos and activities of what's going on. What areas of focus should the marketing team cover? Well, we had mentioned the club events and project promotion. The marketing team should be a part of every club event and project committee. There should be at least one representative at the meetings to at least interject in what's going on and take back the information to the marketing team on what they can do to help out. The marketing team should also be utilizing their connections in the community to get activities into the public eye. Now, whether it's community bulletin boards that you might find in stores or online, you also have regular bulletin boards, newspaper, radio, television, community access channels. These are all connections that your club marketing team could make and be the point person for your club in getting that information out to those areas. Another area of focus for your club marketing team, besides promoting your club activities, is your overall club image. They should work with the club membership team in promoting the club to the general public. They should also be talking with the club members to gain their input for creating an overall marketing plan. All club members should be behind a uniform club marketing plan because it's if you can't sell it to your own club members, then how are you going to sell that the message you're trying to make to somebody out in the general public? Now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes because everybody said, I'm certain that everybody up that's been listening to the last 20 minutes or so has probably agreed pretty much with what has already been said about who we have to be working with, what we have to be concentrating on, things like that. Now we want to get into the part where we're getting into the actual tools that you can use for marketing your club. Now, Lions Clubs International has a whole section of their website that is dedicated to club marketing. There's a link there, and I can make sure that this information is provided to everybody out there who's interested. This section provides all sorts of tools to assist your club in marketing themselves to their community and their community involvement. And the nice thing about it is you don't have to be on the club marketing team alone to be able to access this. Anybody, any Lion, not just those on the club marketing team, can actually go to this website and check out the information and actually utilize it for things. Now, some of the things that are found in that area on the LCI website, they have a whole guideline for the club marketing chair to talk about the duties and responsibilities and basically some hints on how they can get them up to speed on being the club marketing chair. There's also an overall club marketing guideline that you can utilize that will help you in planning what you would like to do for whether you're promoting a club event like a pancake breakfast. Maybe you have a community health fair that you're going to have a booth at. Maybe it's just an open house night that you want people to come and find out information. No matter what the club event is, that marketing guideline form will help you out. There's also informational videos that will give you helpful tips and also give you a little more background on some of the things that you might be able to utilize, not only on the website, but also in the ways that you do some marketing with your club. There's also the Lions Clubs International branding guidelines, which when you're doing any type of promotion with your club, whether it's for an event or an activity or just the club itself, you have to make sure that you utilize the proper logos. You have to utilize the proper color schemes and everything like that. As you notice down in the lower corner there on the screen, we have the correct Lions logo there, not the one that had the red tongue and has multicolored, which actually was an article that we had submitted to some of the district newsletters a few months ago. So you've got the branding guidelines along with the branding kit to give you all the proper items that you can use for social media. And the one I really like is if you still utilize a lot of your local press, whether it's maybe a local radio station, newspaper, TV, or community access or something, they have press release templates that you can actually just sort of plug and play with your own information and be able to customize for your use, that you'd be able to submit then out to the media sources in your local community and be able to get your stories out. Now, besides the LCI, marketing site, there's also a place called the Lions Press Center that's on Lions Clubs International website. Now, this area is a lot more in regards to sharing like stories from different Lions clubs around the world, or other activities, photo, images. It is something that you could actually utilize to maybe add more content to some of the areas that you're actually promoting, whether it's on your website, whether it's on your social media page. Maybe it's a particular story in there that maybe occurred somewhere else, but maybe you're planning on having a similar project in your community. So you could use that as information in your story that you're releasing to say, this was done here, and hey, we thought it was so great, we're going to bring it here. Once again, the Lions Press Center is set up so any Lion, not just those on a club marketing team, could actually utilize it. Some of the items that you find in the Press Center would be a media kit. There's some great Lions facts and Lions PSAs, which one of the nice things about that is these PSAs are free to use. So if you have local radio or television or cable access channels that are interested or accepting and releasing some getting some of those PSAs that you could maybe run, and maybe you could tag something at the end of it with, if you want to learn more information, here's our contact information. You can use those. Lions Clubs International went out and did a lot of work on all of these things. And you don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. You can actually just grab something that you see on here that's suitable for your needs and go ahead and use it without having to worry about any additional charges or anything like that from Lions International. Also, what I really love is you have a lot of downloadable logos, photos. Once again, you have that press release boilerplate. Now, if you're great in creative writing and can write up your own press release, you probably see it a lot of the press releases. There's a little disclaimer paragraph at the end, and that is the paragraph, what they call that boilerplate there, that you would tag at the end of your own press release to make sure that you would be, I guess, in conjunction with what the standards are for Lions Clubs International. All of these things in both the LCI marketing section of the website and the Lions Press Center, I would encourage all of you to maybe take some time, go sit around and poke around in there, take a look at it and see if there's some things there that might either be beneficial to you, or more importantly, might inspire you on something that you might be able to do, because maybe it's just something that you haven't looked at before and you realize that maybe that's something that you were missing out on. Now, when I'm talking about tools for marketing your club, it's not just the items that you can find online. There's also people or personnel that can help you out. And one of the first ones that you could think about is for your Lions Club, if you're looking to get things started as being for marketing, your district marketing team. Now, these are individuals who have been chosen by your district governor to serve on the cabinet, and all these members are there to help out all the clubs in the district. Plus, on top of that, the individual clubs marketing teams in your district are technically part of your district marketing team. So all of these Lions, whether they're at the district level or at the individual club levels, offer you an opportunity to tap into a valuable resource for ideas, assistance, and guidance on your club's own marketing plans. Also, you should be sharing your marketing efforts with the district marketing team, because if you have an upcoming event or activity, with the district marketing team, they should be forwarding it on to other clubs in your district, especially your own zone, because maybe those clubs in your zone or in the district might also want to reshare that advertisement or that announcement. And who knows, you might actually be able to attract some club members from another Lions club to come check things out. Maybe you're holding an activity that they haven't even ever thought of before, and they want to come and check it out and see how it works, because maybe they want to bring it back to their own community because they see a need or a cause that could be supported by that. The third thing I think about in regards to tools, besides the online stuff and the personnel, would be your local connections. Local businesses, the local print media, like your newspaper publishers, the folks who do those weekly shopping guides. If you have any local broadcast stations, whether it's radio, TV, or cable access, these can all be partners or tools that your marketing team for your club can utilize, especially with the media outlets. Some of them are looking for content and are willing to work with local organizations to help promote the events, because it helps fill either airtime or space in their publications to be able to do it. I know a lot of you have probably spent some time going through local businesses, asking them if they can put a poster or a flyer up in their front window to attract attendees to one of your upcoming Lions events. You never know. If you go in and talk to those businesses, they may have something in particular that they were looking to do that maybe the Lions might be a great partner for. So you can develop some stronger ties with the businesses and the media sources in your community. And who knows, maybe you might be able to attract a member or two out of some of those business owners, business managers, or some of the media staff out there. We've been talking about, you got tools. We've been talking about who should be on a marketing team. We've been talking about why you should market and what you should be marketing. What's next for you? Well, I think the first thing you got to do is to get things going, you got to organize a club marketing team. Now, I know that this whole thing is not something that's going to be able to just take off overnight. It's going to be something that's going to take some time. But the first step, you have to take a first step sometime. And the first thing you need to do is you got to find members in your own club who are willing to be part of a club marketing team. Then what you need to do is, once you get that team organized and they get to assess their skills and everything on what's going on, you should sit down as a club and develop an overall marketing plan. And that marketing strategy should be for both club activities and the club itself. And you see the listing there, it says identify what club activities need to be promoted. Well, frankly, I guess the easy way to answer that question is, I think pretty much all activities need to be promoted, but it's just a matter of figuring out the right promotion for those activities. So that's part of, that'll be another part of that step of developing an overall marketing strategy for your club. And as I had mentioned earlier, get your club involved in your marketing plans. Don't just have your marketing team develop this and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And you have everybody in a meeting say, yeah, that's great. But then you find out that nobody's really doing it. Whether it's your club marketing team has worked with the membership committee and they've developed a club brochure that they can hand out to the club members and pass out to interested parties in the community. Well, that's probably a good indication that, number one, you've done the right thing. You've got two committees working together to work on how they're going to implement a marketing plan. But you still have to do that final step and get the club to buy in on it to be able to work on that. Also, you need to get familiar with the tools you might need to market your club as part of that overall assessing your club marketing team skills. You also need to discuss where and how you would like to promote your club. I know different communities have different opportunities. Some of them maybe have a TV station or cable access. Some of them have a radio station that you might be able to set up where somebody could go on a regular basis and maybe talk up your club or talk up your activity. Maybe your community does or does not have a local newspaper. On top of that, what about online presence? Does your club have a website? Does your club have any social media exposure that you have to talk about where and how you want to promote that club? Once again, I stress that you need to build relations with local connections and with the district marketing team. Those are two valuable resources for getting your message out and hopefully for getting some information back or feedback on how your promotions have been going, or maybe potential changes that you can make. Basically, being on a on a club marketing team and working with the district and such, you see that last line on there, you got to continue on working on your club's media exposure. Just because you think you got something done doesn't mean that it was done 100% correct. You have to sit down and you have to reevaluate what's going on. Plus, things change. You know, I happen to serve in a community that used to have a local newspaper, and we all the time. Then all of a sudden, that local newspaper turned into a regional newspaper, and it was a lot more difficult to get your articles in there. And then eventually that regional newspaper is kind of gone from being a printed paper to pretty much an online paper. So you have to make adjustments as things go on when you have a situation like that pops up. So I've done a lot of talking here, folks. I'm wanting to see if any of you have any questions out there.
And not only questions, but if other people have things that you've done that have been successful, if you could share with everyone, that would be great.
One idea about the developing club branding is club clothing. Not only, you know, it's not only just using the Lions logo properly and things like that, but I know when I first joined my Lions club a little over 20 years ago, everybody wore our vest proudly, and we all had club pins, and you know, we were all proud to wear that at our meetings and such. But then as time went on, things changed. We found that some people weren't so inclined to be wearing that type of club branding, you know, or clothing anymore. I know some clubs out there don't have vests anymore. They strictly have like polo shirts. I know some clubs out there have pins, but some do not. You know, it's just a matter of, I guess, personal taste and personal preference, but that's also part of the idea about branding. If you've had your club so wrapped up in branding with one particular thing, and then that thing has started to fall to the wayside, it's time to sit down and reevaluate. Once again, the floor is open to anybody who has a comment or question.
Yeah, just a comment. Thank you. That was a very good overview of a lot of things. There's in a small club that we are in Canton, you know, we don't have really social media access or a lot of that opportunity, but we do have a local community calendar that really does work for us. So that's step one, but I really need to look into promoting and sharing some of this responsibility with some other members within the club. I like that idea as well. So thank you for that.
It sounds like you are kind of the sole person that's doing the club marketing. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
Okay. Are you
we
also
have a dozen members in our club, so you know, some of those aren't very active. So we do wear a lot of hats.
I have a feeling that was going to be the situation. I guess this is the case where, as I had mentioned earlier, If you don't have enough people to help you out, then obviously we need to help you find some people on it. So maybe between the district marketing team and maybe the members, the maybe members of the GAT team might be able to help you go out and do some new member recruitment in the area.
That's some good thoughts. Thank you.
And then when you're doing that, like I mentioned earlier in one of the slides, I talked about if you're finding a particular area that you're maybe lacking some talent or experience in for whether it's marketing or some other item that your club needs, there's no reason why you can't say, hey, we're really looking for somebody who's got some skills in carpentry, or somebody's got some skills with software, or something else along, or even a seamstress, or somebody who can sew. There's always an opportunity for somebody that comes to the club. They can bring a life skill that would help out the club as well. I see you shaking your head there, Council Chair. Any comments for you that you have there, or anything, or suggestions for the audience here?
No, it was just a great presentation. We found with our club and the people in our community that they watch Facebook and they watch Nextdoor. If you've got a Nextdoor, some of those community social media things, that's been real successful.
One thing about Facebook that I was not aware of until not too long ago is there's a lot of Facebook community bulletin boards there. And it's either businesses or other organizations in your community that will be posting on there. In a lot of cases, it's free to use. Depending on the type of bulletin board it is, you might have to approach them and ask permission to be able to post something on there and to share on there. But that is another avenue that you can utilize.
Hey, this is Art from Rapid City. Just a comment from me. For your next presentation on the 12th or any going forward, is it possible to get a link placed on the page rather than just a QR code?
Yes, we are working on that for the next one. So, and thank you very much. So we'll have both on there.
Yeah, because the only way I could get on tonight was to, get the picture of the QR code on my iPhone, which does not make for a great presentation.
Yep, perfect. Yep, we will see to it. And just wanted to mention that we will not be having a webinar in December, but we will be having one in January, and it will be on new clubs and some new ideas for forming new clubs. So just keep that in your on your calendar. So any other market?
I was going to say the PowerPoint presentation that I have here, and I have developed an outline that went with the PowerPoint presentation, would be available to anybody out there who has any interest in having that, whether it's at the district level or at the club level. So feel free to reach out and we can get that information to you.
Reach out to who?
Lion Lyle Goff. And if you need my email address, it is gofflt@msn.com.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
GOFFLT.
Yep. L is in Lyle, T is in Teresa.
Anyone else have some comments or questions or things that you have tried that we can learn from?
This is Larry Winter from the Duluth Lions Club. We have a little bigger market probably than a lot of clubs. Something new we tried last summer was having a table at the sidewalk days downtown where all the businesses have tables for about 3 days. And we did recruit a couple of members who stopped by and had an interest in diabetes, and we were exhibiting some of our diabetes information. So that was nice. We also did a walk and raised a little bit of money as a fundraiser. One of the other things we've found successful with our Pancake Day is getting a advertising company like Lamar Advertising has digital billboards around the city. And they like our Pancake Day so much, they donate some time so we don't have to pay for it. And they put a nice ad on their digital signs for us. The other thing that is huge is the television coverage that we get. Our 3 TV stations do remote news broadcasts during the day. So people see that on the news and remind them to come to our Pancake Day, and it gets us a lot of increased attendance. So they're very happy to promote our event, and it's been a tremendous relationship. So those are some of the things we do.
Lion Larry, I really love the first thing that you mentioned, which was the idea that you have an information booth that would be out at community events, whether they're Lions or not. That's probably a best way of getting marketing the Lions and Lions clubs, and also an excellent way, as you pointed out, that you guys were able to gain some new members by having that information booth out there. So I would say all Lions clubs, if you have a community event of some type, make sure you dedicate a little space over where maybe if people have some questions or would like to know more about Lions, you can direct them over to some folks staffing a little area there, and they would be able to answer some questions, hand out some information, and who knows, maybe even get a couple of people to fill out some membership applications. Great
Right
job.
on.
Does anyone else have anything before we wrap things up for the evening? I was going to say, if not, I really thank you all for taking some time out of your busy schedules to sit down with us for about the last 45 minutes to an hour. If you have any questions or anything, I did give my email address earlier. Feel free to email me if you need to. We can also get you some other contact information. And I wish you all great success in marketing your club in your community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lyle. And thank you everyone for attending. Next webinar will be in January. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a great one,
you.
everybody.
Bye.